recall. I mean, I don't know. I can't really see who was in the room, but I had a fight with Ben Wilson. He was playing with Philly. I had a fight with him at the Coliseum, and I still say I slipped on the ice, and he got a couple in underneath, you know. But Ben Wilson thought he won that fight, hands down. He thought he won the belt. He thought he was the king of the hill, the world champion. I just beat Clark Gillies, right? And I had to hear that bullshit for like 2 years, you know? And I'm like, you know, I gotta do something with this guy. But I was like you said, I was sort of hesitant, right? I didn't want to go through another thing where I slipped again. So we're playing the Boston Bruins. I guess it's a Saturday night. We're playing in Boston, and we get it handed to us pretty good. We didn't battle them very much. And Bobby, I was rooming with Bobby Nystrom at the time, and he comes up to me after the game. He comes over and he looks me in the eye. He says, "Clarky, you and I we're going for a beer." I said, "Oh, yeah, who's coming? Where are we going?" And he goes, "No, just you and me. I need to talk to you." Oh, good. Yeah. When Bobby tells you need to talk to you, it's usually pretty serious shit. So we go to a bar. I don't know, somewhere near the hotel. Don't remember. We're sitting there. We have a couple, 3, 4 beers, whatever. And he says to me, "Clarky, I got to ask you a question." He said, "And you know what? Don't get mad at me. Don't get pissed off. But I think I need to ask you this question. I think it'll be good for you." I said, "What's that, Bobby?" He said, "Is there somebody out there that's playing that I don't want to use the word you're afraid of, but you're just not sure whether you want to go back and try it again? You know, you want to fight him again?" And I said, "Well, Bobby, to be honest with you," I said, "it's probably Ben Wilson after that fight we had with him on the island." He says, "I know it's Ben Wilson. I've known it for a long time." He goes, "Who do we play tomorrow?" I go, "Chicago Blackhawks." He goes, "Who plays for the Blackhawks?" I go, "Ben Wilson." He goes, "You are going to get this monkey off your back tomorrow. It's going to be over. Tomorrow night, you are going to destroy him. You're going to get this done with. Done with." I go, "Okay." Now I can't sleep. Thanks, Bob. I wake up in the morning. The first thing he does, he rolls out of bed. He looks at me. Tonight. I'm not kidding. Tonight, Clarky, Ben Wilson. Tonight, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen tonight. We got on the plane. We chartered to Chicago. We get up the next day. I don't know if we chartered in those days. Got on the plane, went to Chicago. Get off the plane. Get on the bus. Sits next to me on the bus. Clarky, get a good meal. Get a meal. Get some food. You were gonna kill that son of a bitch. Looking at me at the pregame meal. You won't stop looking at me. I got it. Before we go to bed, before we go to sleep. He's like, "Clarky, get a good sleep, get a good rest." He wouldn't leave me alone. In the locker room, he's sitting, Chicago dressing room, a small place in the old building. He's sitting right across the room just looking at me, just staring at me. Well, now for warm-up, right? The only guy I could think about, the only guy I saw was Ben Wilson. Skating around, just looking at Ben Wilson. Well, I was so wired. I mean, it was like I drank a 6-pack of Red Bull, for Christ's sake. I was like, I am so going to beat shit out of this guy. So, on the ice, I don't know why I was out there. I was out there with Bob Bourne, and Bob got in the middle of something, and Wilson's there. And he grabs Bob, and I go over and I say, "Oh, this is just adding fuel to the fire. You're going to hurt my best friend? That ain't happening." So I go over, "Hey, fucking asshole." I said, "What are you doing?" Oh, he looks at me, he goes, "Oh, you want it again, do you?" I go, "Yeah, right fucking now. Let's go. Right fucking now." You gotta watch this fight on YouTube. It's like, it's not the one, we were in Chicago. It's Ben Wilson and Clark Gillies in Chicago. And I am like a crazed person, and I'm throwing punches, and I hit him with a couple of uppercuts, and I hit him with a couple of overhand ones, And at the end of the fight, he ends up falling over on me, and I'm on my back, right? Well, you watch that. I hit him with a couple. One, I'm sure, just It's like when you're at the fair and you hit that thing, the bell goes up.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get the bell to go up if you hit that fat thing right in the middle. You got to hit it right on the edge, and that thing will go bang. And that's where I got Ben Wilson with a full one of these. I come right up, and it just clipped his chin, and you could just feel it hit right on the bone. The only reason he's still standing is because I got a hold of him. And then he fell. I think he fell on me. I don't even know. But we went to the penalty box, and normally at this point, Ben Wilson is like, you know, yeah. How do you like that? How did you like that? How did you like that? You know. Well, he never said a word. He's sitting right there. He's 3 feet from me in the penalty box. Never looked at me. Never said a word. Got out of the penalty box. Naturally, the referee's in the way. He skated back to the bench. That was the last time I ever saw Ben Wilson. Never, ever had to deal with Ben Wilson again after that.
You know what everybody's watching on the train ride home tonight, right?
So I said to Bob, I said, okay, now I get to ask you the same question. He goes, yep. Who's the guy? He goes, Glenn Cochran in Philly. I was like, well, Bob, you don't really have to fight him on my account if you don't have to, because Glenn Cochran was one of the toughest guys I've ever seen. So, but Bobby went after him. Yeah, he was hesitant to fight him all this time, about the same amount of time as I was at Wilson. Next time we played in Philly, Bobby went after him. He didn't beat him or anything, but at least they were both undressed. They were both naked by the time this thing was done, and at least Cochran appreciated the fact that Bobby went after him, and you know there was a mutual respect there.
You played in a fucked up era, man.
Can I keep talking?
Absolutely. Does anybody want to go home yet?
You have to go anywhere?